Hi, how's it going? This is Resident of Collinwood for YouTube. Back with another Dark Shadows video for you guys and gals. I'm here to do episode 40 reaction and review. If you're watching this on TV, this is season 2, episode 5. So you see a shot of the Great House, then they cut to the Evans Cottage. Inside the Evans Cottage, we have Roger Collins. And we see, I love how, by the way, John Sedgwick is directing this. I love how we have a shot of Roger on the left of Bill Malloy and Sam on the right. Roger is looking at Sam. Sam's looking at Bill. Bill is standing between them. Not directly between them, but right in front of them. So, yeah, Bill's going to take off his coat here. Don't you know if we're coming to man's house? He told me what privacy, keep your door locked. So Bill's like, you walked up here, Roger? He said nothing. Driving by. Bill Malloy is saying he didn't expect to walk into an argument. He says windmill, but you still see the scar on Roger's head. By the way, yes, this is a different episode, but same day. It's the day after Burke took David home. Coffee's so Bill Malloy gets a cup of coffee from Sam because he asked. It's good coffee. Frank Schofield does a good job here. He's being, in order to sometimes find out the truth, sometimes you get characters who will, the actors will play them as a bit antagonistic. So that's what Frank Schofield's doing here. He's not being a heel, he's just being a bit antagonistic. A bit pesky. You want Sam to do painting for him. So yeah, Roger's cover story here is he says he just came up here he wants Sam to do a painting of him, basically a portrait. And you know, Bill Malloy's gonna tell him, hey, looks like business is picking up for you. Uh first Burke, now Roger. So, and Bill's still drinking his cup of coffee. They said he'd do one for Bill. Bill's not gonna be around long enough. He said he ran into Burke. Bill Malloy is saying this. He said he bumped. Roger's like, I didn't bump into no Burke Devlin. So Bill Malloy does a really good job here. Frank Schofield's character does a really good job here of, I figured that's what you two were arguing about. He's talking to Sam and Roger. He figures they were arguing about Burke Devlin. He is confronting them with that. He said, I figured you were arguing about Burke. And Roger here is going to say that. He's going to say, why would we be arguing about Burke? So yeah, I like how they cover that. I like how Sam Evans covers up a lie here. He says, we were arguing about the price of the portrait. That Basically, Sam's fees. Bill tells Roger he'll see him at the office. Hmm. Roger Roger tells Bill Malloy to talk to him later, and Roger leaves. Bill Malloy's going to walk over and he's going to lock the door of the Evans cottage. He's going to do what he advised Sam to do because there's no escape for Sam Evans. Oh, they touched up Burke's drawing. Nice. It looks a little more like Metro Ryan. Colin's gone. So that was catch doing Burke. He says yes. Bill Malloy's Brenda Powell on him and Sam have been friends. 30 years. Jesus. Jesus. Said, and Sam's like, Bill, why did you come here? He said, because of him, because of Burke Devlin. Speaking of Burke Devlin, he's looking at Carolyn's ring. Something she left last episode. He's going to make a phone call. By the time this episode ends, it's like going towards lunchtime. The phone is running up at Collinwood, and here's Carolyn running down. What Burke Devlin. What a surprise. So Burke has Carolyn's ring, a ring that she left there on purpose to leave it to him so he could give it to her in person. In person. He asks how you go about getting it back to her. So yeah, Burke is going to drive the Bangor this afternoon. He mentioned that in the previous episode. So, what time are you leaving for Bangor? Or 2 episodes ago, sir. You give me the ring then at 12 o'clock. She's like, see you then. She hangs up. You do get a character mention in this episode. A couple character mentions, Elizabeth and Victoria, and neither of those characters are actually in this episode. Our actors in this episode are Mitch Ryan, Luce Edmonds, Frank Schofield, David Ford, and Nancy Barrett. So, thank Sam. Sam's talking about drawing Burke, and then asks Bill why the questions. And he's drinking. Again, we've gotten episodes of a reminder of how small of a town Collinsport is. We get another reminder here from Bill Malloy himself saying, "What affects you affects everybody. You know, what affects one person affects the whole town." So I love that preference there because he's not wrong. We've seen how a stranger coming to Collinsport in Victoria Winters has affected everybody in town. We've seen Burke Devlin coming back, how it's affected everybody in town. It's a really, really great reminder of just how small Collinsport really is. When one thing happens, it affects everybody, whether it's somebody arriving or somebody taking up a new job. So, especially the family that lives in Collinwood. Big dark house. Here you see, that's great camera work. Again, you see John Sedgwick filming the back of Frank Schofield's head. Now he's looking at the front of Frank Schofield, and we're watching him talk. How about a drink? He wants no more coffee. And as he's asking Sam to join him in a drink, doesn't make it a stiff one. It should be a very special day. Special day. I'm gonna get you toasted. Cheers. So Bill Malloy is going to be the slowest sipper in in the history of people who sip fictional alcohol. Uh, Sam, Sam is holding his glass and watches. He just chugs it. He just goes, oh, gone, gone. How about another refill? Sam, you haven't even touched yours. That's what he says to Bill Malloy. I'm a slow drinker. He's like, hard to keep it up, but old rummy like you. Sam, I wasn't always an old rummy. He said, what should we drink to? Sam, there was a time I was yesterday, or a long time ago. I like that. I love how David Ford delivers that line, and we're getting the close up of David Ford's character's Sam Evans' face, and we're hearing the ominous music. He says, only yesterday. Really, a long time ago, and I've watched a movie like this. I've watched movies like this where a long time ago feels like only yesterday. And that's what Sam is sort of preferencing, that all his talents, all his artwork feels like only yesterday, but also all his problems feel like they only started just yesterday, even though they didn't. They happened a long time ago. Hence, a long time ago feels like it's only yesterday. I love how Dark Shadows did this here and how David Ford's character did this. Very, very well done. Very well done. And there's Mitchell Ryan. He said, I'll meet you for lunch at your hotel.
A very persistent young lady.
After you see a very persistent young lady. You see Burke Devlin's using the phone booth, and here's Roger. He says, I asked Roger, how is he? No Maggie Evans in this episode. No Catherine Lee Scott. Again, we're still on that same day, though, that her character wasn't at the diner, so. Yeah, that's how David is. Burke did. And Roger says, fine. He said, I'm not in the mood for chit chat. What about your old friend Sam Evans? Uh-oh. We're taking a dig. We're taking a dig. Oh my God. Sam Evans and I barely know each other. That's what Roger. He says, I'm considered by one of your paintings. I love what Louis Edmonds does here. He stops talking because he sees his character, Roger, sees Carolyn's ring, and he recognizes the ring right away. And something we're going to learn is, in this episode, Roger is the one who gave Carolyn that ring for her 16th birthday. And you see Burke is holding it in his right hand. Pretty. Where you got it? From your charming niece. She gave you her ring? She gave it to you? Not exactly. She left it on her 16th birthday. So Roger gave Carolyn the ring on her 16th birthday. We had coffee together. She left it on the table. Suppose I saved her the truth. I don't think she looked at. Roger says, "Give it in the ring, Burke, and I'll return it to her." And Burke says, "Out of my hands." He did give. He's not just talking about rings. Talk about my family. Keep them out of your hands. Keep away from them. Keep away from me. Yeah, I mean, it's a fair point. They don't want to keep away from Burke. They never want to keep away from Burke, especially David and Carolyn, and well, Vicky happens by him too. And there's Carolyn. She's all dressed up and ready to go because we're at the Great House again. And who walks in the door? Uncle Roger. Roger must have lead-footed it all the way up to the house. He drove fast. She said, "I have this big date. Let's just let Burke Devil wonder what happened to you." She looks at him like, oh, God. As, so, Roger gives Carolyn her ring back. You're going to have this very interesting conversation here that Roger, once again, is warning Carolyn to stay away from Burke Devlin. She doesn't want her anywhere near him. I still liked how Roger's scar looks. Again, the makeup team did a good job. I mentioned it last episode. And I love how, again, John Sedgwick is shooting them both both in the same frame. Really good job. Carolyn's like how everyone tells her what to do, meaning her mother and him. So Carolyn, who is wanting to help her Uncle Roger and Burke with, settle with Burke's issues and problems, she says, "Maybe I can help you, maybe I can't, but I'm certainly going to try." It's not just for him; it's for her now. It's not. Though she does ask Burke some pretty interesting questions in this episode. And there's Carolyn. She must have drove fast too. My God, in the town and going into the hotel diner. And there's Burke reading the paper. Say, "Come here. Where's my ring?" Said, "I had to get my ring back." He's like, "What ring?" One she left here earlier this morning. I take it the hotel diner opens at like 6 a.m. I gotta believe they open early. Diners usually open like 4:30, 5 o'clock ish. So, and then Burke searched Carolyn's purse, and in the purse was Carolyn's ring. Burke told. Carolyn, he tells Carolyn her ring move is older than them both. That's saying something. That's saying something considering Burke's twice her age. We're to visit. Why are you going to Bangor? Nothing to do with our family. He says that. He's lying. So she's trying to push of why he's going to Bangor, and Burke's telling her, didn't your Uncle Roger tell you stay away from me, or didn't he tell you? And I so Carol asked how long is he going to be leaving? 15 minutes. So basically, something I like too, the way Mitchell Ryan's Burke Devil asked, "Didn't your Uncle Roger tell you to stay away from me?" Burke knows, as as a character, Mitchell Ryan's Burt Devlin knows that Roger most likely told her that. So, and here's Carolyn. She's gonna call the Great House. Dial it up, girlfriend. Dial it up. I like how we keep seeing the other waitress in this episode with Sierra at an angle. So will you do me a favor? She's asking Vicky to do a favor. Tell my mama not come home for dinner tonight. A date. A date. Just not with Joe Haskell. Poor Joe. Poor Joe. That would have. Here she walks out, and she's just standing there. She goes right to her car. See, that's not just a set there. They shot some of this on location. They do a great job of on location and set design with the hotel diner / kitchen. And Sam, Rebecca Diaz, because he said he had real talent once. Sam is and Bill is saying you're a great artist. He said so God. Sam Evans says, "You're trying to get me drunk," to Bill Malloy, and Bill say, "I thought all you great artists could hold your liquor." Oh my God.
Yeah.
He also told Samuel, "You were a great painter," and he said, "Of course it is." And 10 years ago, before he began to shrivel up, he said, "Not true," because Bill told him you could still paint as good as ever, and Sam's like, "No." Yeah. I love that little. Sam says he feels like he's losing his soul, and he's scared. And Bill to Sam, "What are you scared of?" "Everything." And Sam's response is everything and everyone. I think that is such a great way to describe not just Sam's guilt, but also the potential ramifications of everything, of what might of telling the truth, the ramifications. And he's also thinking, because he's getting drunk, should despite the ramifications, should I just tell somebody? I think you could tell David Ford's character is Sam Evans is thinking that. So, who's gonna hurt you? They'll come down from him. They tell me from this is you talk about Collinwood. So you get a whisper in my ear. I'm gonna kill you. This is maybe how they'll let him do it. He said somebody's gonna kill him. They didn't say who. So you get up a drink. I love how David Ford is portraying a drunk man in this episode. He's like slurring his words a bit. He's like, "I just want to get away from here." Is he auto not thrown up from the okay. Were you here? So Sam Evans, like, so Bill has learned that it is Roger who's tormenting him. He's like, "Don't go. He'll come back. I'll do what he says." Seems that he won't. Because why are you so afraid of him? He's afraid of me too. He's talking about Roger. The great Roger Collins. See, he admits it. David Ford actually, in an effort to play a drunk man so well, David Ford spills a little bit of his drink. I like that. You said you promised not to tell anyone. If I tell you a secret, tell anyone. Yeah. So Sam Evans tells Bill Malloy he's the only thing between Roger Collins and a prison sentence, and he takes one last drink of liquor, and Sam passes out. And Bill Malloy is trying to wake him. I like the little cough there David Ford adds. I wonder if that was just on purpose. Whatever it was, it was a good job. And I love how Bill Malloy covers Sam Evans up with a blanket. Like, here you go, Sam, I feel sorry for you. I like how Bill, he's going to go over and unlock the door and just walk right out like, God, like the way Bill Malloy looks, Sam, that's the end of the episode. Really, really good. Really, really good. I love the way John Sedgwick directs this episode. The way he shoots the actors is really good. It's different. Him and Lila Swift had a different approach, and you can definitely see that. It's something I'm going to talk about here soon in my next video. You guys have a great, great rest of your night.